Hidden in the peaceful countryside of County Meath, Ireland, lie the haunting ruins of Athcarne Castle. At first glance, it appears to be nothing more than an abandoned medieval fortress slowly disappearing beneath ivy and wild vegetation. Birds nest in its broken towers, and centuries-old stone walls stand silently against the Irish sky. Yet locals believe that when darkness falls, the castle reveals a far more unsettling side. For generations, Athcarne Castle has been surrounded by stories of ghostly figures, mysterious footsteps, strange whispers, and an overwhelming feeling that unseen eyes are watching anyone who dares to enter the ruins after sunset. While it is not as famous as Ireland's Leap Castle or Loftus Hall, its forgotten history has only deepened its mystery. Tonight, we explore the real history behind Athcarne Castle and the eerie legends that continue to haunt its crumbling walls. Athcarne Castle stands near the village of Duleek in County Meath, a region filled with ancient monuments and medieval history. The original castle dates back to the medieval period and later became associated with the powerful Bathe family, one of the most influential Anglo-Norman families in Ireland. For hundreds of years, generations lived within these walls, witnessing political struggles, religious conflict, and dramatic changes throughout Irish history. Although much of the original structure has collapsed over time, the castle remained occupied for centuries before eventually being abandoned. Today only ruins remain, but historians believe countless lives unfolded within these walls. Weddings were celebrated, children were raised, servants worked long hours, and family members passed away. Every castle with such a long history gathers stories, and Athcarne is no exception. Life in medieval Ireland was filled with uncertainty. Noble families lived under the constant threat of raids, warfare, and political conflict. Castles like Athcarne were built not only as homes but also as defensive strongholds designed to protect their inhabitants from attack. Thick stone walls, narrow windows, and fortified towers remind us that danger was always nearby. The surrounding region experienced centuries of conflict involving Norman settlers, Gaelic Irish clans, and later English military campaigns. While no specific battle has become permanently linked to Athcarne Castle itself, historians know that County Meath experienced repeated violence throughout the medieval period. Local folklore claims that soldiers once defended the castle while frightened servants hid within its lower rooms as fighting echoed outside. Whether these stories are entirely factual or embellished over generations, they reflect the harsh reality of life during those turbulent centuries. The most famous legend connected with Athcarne Castle tells of a mysterious woman dressed entirely in white. According to local tradition, she appears quietly among the ruins, often standing near broken windows or walking slowly through what were once the castle's grand halls. Witnesses say she never speaks. She simply stares into the distance before vanishing without a trace. Some believe she was once a noblewoman who lived in the castle hundreds of years ago. Legend says the man she loved left to fight in a distant conflict, promising he would return. Every evening she climbed to the highest point of the castle, watching the road and waiting for his arrival. Days became months, months became years, but he never came home. Consumed by grief, she eventually died still waiting. According to the legend, her spirit continues that endless vigil, forever searching the road where she last hoped to see him. Several visitors have described hearing footsteps echoing through the castle ruins despite being completely alone. The sounds usually begin quietly, almost as if someone is walking cautiously across stone floors hidden somewhere within the ruins. Curious explorers often stop to listen, expecting another visitor to appear. Instead, silence follows. As soon as they begin walking again, the footsteps return behind them. Some witnesses have claimed that the sounds perfectly match their own pace, stopping whenever they stop and continuing whenever they move. Searches of the surrounding area reveal no other people. The footsteps simply disappear as mysteriously as they began. Perhaps the most common experience reported by visitors is not seeing a ghost at all, but feeling one. Many people describe an intense sensation that someone is watching them from somewhere inside the ruins. Even experienced photographers and historians have admitted feeling uncomfortable despite finding nothing unusual around them. Some report sudden chills despite calm weather. Others describe the strange feeling of someone standing directly behind them. Instinctively they turn around, expecting another person to be there, only to find empty stone walls and complete silence. Residents living near Athcarne Castle have long shared stories of hearing unexplained voices during quiet evenings. These are not loud screams or obvious conversations. Instead, witnesses describe soft whispers carried by the wind across the fields surrounding the castle. Some listeners believe the voices sound like distant prayers. Others hear quiet crying or words spoken in a language they cannot understand. Whenever someone attempts to follow the sound, it fades away almost immediately, leaving only the wind passing through the ancient ruins. Another recurring legend tells of a tall, dark figure appearing near the remains of one of the castle towers. Unlike the White Lady, this apparition has no visible features. Witnesses describe only a human-shaped shadow standing perfectly still against the ancient stone walls. Several explorers claim they noticed the figure watching them from a distance before it slowly disappeared into darkness without making a single sound. Others insist the shadow vanished the moment they looked directly at it. In recent decades, paranormal enthusiasts have occasionally visited Athcarne Castle hoping to document unusual activity. Some have brought cameras equipped for low-light photography, while others carried digital voice recorders searching for unexplained sounds. Most investigations produced nothing unusual beyond the natural sounds of wildlife and the wind moving through the ruins. However, a handful of visitors claimed that camera batteries drained unexpectedly, recording devices malfunctioned, or strange noises appeared on audio recordings after returning home. None of these claims have been scientifically verified, yet they continue to fuel the castle's mysterious reputation. Perhaps that is why Athcarne Castle continues to fascinate those who visit it. Its weathered walls have witnessed centuries of history, triumph, tragedy, and silence. Whether the stories are echoes of real events, local folklore passed from one generation to another, or simply the power of imagination awakened by an ancient place, the castle leaves a lasting impression on everyone who walks among its ruins. As darkness settles over the fields of County Meath and the wind whispers through the broken stone walls, Athcarne Castle stands exactly as it has for centuries, silent, forgotten, and mysterious. Whether you believe in ghosts or not, many who have visited the ruins agree on one thing. There is something about Athcarne Castle that makes you feel as though you are never truly alone.